Now we're going to try increases and decreases. So I'm going to use a different yarn from the swatch that we did earlier. And to start a new one, you're going to do very similar to what was before. So there's the V. I'm going to start a new color, and we're going to end up having to weave in the ends. I'm going to keep track of your tail. Keep the tail off to the side. This is going to be the same thing. So one chain. So we didn't do it up chain for the last one. So I have to attach it that way. So that's our one up. Actually, I'm not sure if I need to do that one again, but we're just going to try this way. So you go under the V, yarn over, pull through both. So if I want to do an increase, which means I'm trying to widen the fabric and change its shape. So instead of being the same going all the way up and having it be square or rectangle, let's say I wanted to make it wider. So in this one, instead of doing just one stitch, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. Then I go into the next V, and sometimes there's a pattern, like for this one I'll just do 1 and then 2, then 1 and then 2. So there's 1, this one, go under the 2 V's, 1, 2 into the same hole, the same place that you went before, you're going to go again. And then this one I'll do 1, and then this one I'll do an increase, so 2. And then I'll do 1. Oh, I think that was the end. Can't tell if that's the side. There's the V. Okay. So now I'm going to chain up 1, and I'm going to go the other direction. So now I should have more stitches going the other direction than I started. So I already chained up 1 before I turned. There's that stitch. 1. Let's do an increase on here. 1, 2. And if you pay attention to clothing patterns or any kind of patterns, they often have curves in order to make things. So in your creativity, oops, that one looks like I went through. That's okay. So here's, in case this happens, you just put your hook back in so that I undid that one. Same thing. So there's 1. Here's 2. So both in knitting and crochet, sometimes you'll have a pattern of increases where it'll say do double crochet and then single crochet 3 times in a row, something like that. There. So now, make sure my loop's a little bit bigger. You can see it's starting to widen. It's wider than the white. So if I'm trying to make a cone shape, this is the perfect way to do it. And this is for flat, so this is in consideration of making flat pieces and sewing them together, which is what I did with the bunny rabbit. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So now it's even wider. So you may find out, oh, that's too much. I don't want this little wrinkle to happen. So if you're just making it up as you go, so just pull it back to the prior row. And instead of doing an increase that often, you could do a single row without doing 2 double crochets in the same one. And then just do single crochets all the way across. Or you could say, okay, that was too much. I'm going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase. The same one. Then single. Oops, that's the same hole. Single. And then in the next one, I'm going to do an increase. Single. Single. Increase. Single. Single. Increase. I think I'll just do another increase in this one, or another single to end it. See how this looks. All right, so there's not as much puckering. So if I'm just trying to make a flat piece and have it widen as it goes, that's working pretty well. So decrease means the opposite. So I'm going to chain 1 and then turn my work. So instead of, so there's an invisible decrease, which I kind of like with amigurumi, so I'll show you that. So you just take, instead of a single crochet, you're going to take the front leg of this one and the front leg of the next one, and you go through both of those. So you're making 2 stitches into one, and then go through both. Then the next one, I'll just do single, and let's do a decrease again. So I'll take the first stitch, or the front leg of this one, and the front leg of this one, pull that through both, and then pull it through the double. Single. Let's do a decrease. So I'm going to take the front leg of this one, the front leg of this one, pull it through both, pull it through both. Single. Decrease. Front leg, front leg of the V. Come on, you can do it. Pull the yarn through both of those front legs, and then through both. Single. Decrease. Front leg, front leg. Single. And then we'll end with a single. So now we went from wide, and we're pulling this back in. So then I could make it narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower, and I could end up making a triangle, like a Christmas tree. So this is the base, and then it's wider here, and then you just keep each time making it narrower and narrower. So that's another option, is the decrease. And the invisible decrease just means that it's harder to see where you do it. which can be tricky, but you still count the stitches the same exact way. So you're looking at the top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can't quite tell. That looks like 12. So there's an increase and a decrease.